yes, you're selfish for 45 minutes today, but it allows you to serve, to then turn and be a better servant leader. You will be, yeah, you start looking better physically, but mentally, cognitively, you will start to feel like a champion. Everything improves from A to Z, head to toe, fingernail to toenail. So just make that commitment. Promise Jason and I you're going to make that commitment to start being a better version of yourself. So I can't, I don't know, I was just kind of improv there.
No,
I
it's
can't say any
perfect.
better
It's
than that,
honestly,
brother.
it's perfect. It's like put your oxygen mask on first. And I always love, like, it's quite a harsh truth, which is discipline is self-respect. So discipline yourself is self-respect. And I'm a big believer that, hard physical stress makes you more tolerant to all stress. Absolutely all stress. It makes you more patient. It makes you better in every way. You have an argument with your partner, you have a hard day, go for a run, do something physical. I always say, don't judge how you feel till you've got your heart rate up. And it's amazing how just raising your heart rate changes your perspective on the day. And it's absolutely key. But honestly, Yancey, that was fantastic. And one thing I do want to say is that pretty much everyone in the fitness industry wants to change lives and wants to be there because they want to help people and improve people. But I can honestly say that you're probably the most, when it comes to wanting to change and benefit and make millions of people happy and healthy, you're probably the most sincere person I've ever met. And I can honestly say that I really believe that, we all like to say, and it sounds great, but, you are truly authentic in that. And I can see that you genuinely, first, it is the every man, the every woman comes first to you, and you're there to be, DECA is just there to sincerely help people and make them happier, make them healthier, and improve their family life, improve all aspects of life. So honestly, Anshali, you're an absolute inspiration to me. And I'm sure you're an inspiration to everyone you've ever met. I mean, every DECA affiliate, the amount of people within my organization that have met you, all sing your praises. So well done to you, Yancey. What you've achieved is unbelievable, massive inspiration to me, and I hope that DECA and Deadly Dozen can work together to make this sport of fitness racing the most amazing sport in the world.
Well, I appreciate that, brother, man. It means the world to me as my team that deals with my wild, crazy ass every day. They call me the Texas Tornado, and in a way, I was blessed with the gift of gab, and I'll jump up on the plow box and shout it from the rooftops. And in a way, I'm trying to always speak for the whole fitness industry when I'm speaking from the heart, because some are just really good coaches or really good owners, and maybe they don't like to jump up on the plow box and shout it from the rooftops. I'm okay with that because it's just who I am, and a lot of coaches are like that. But I tear up almost every day when I think about what's happening inside that little group exercise class, and dealing the world's most powerful drug. And I got to say it one more time, man. I want to do it justice. You hit me up. I had no clue you were writing a book, dude. I had no freaking clue. And you hit me up the other day, and you sent it to me, and you asked me to write your forward. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I went into it thinking, okay, I don't want to just write a forward. I gotta skim. I gotta take 20 minutes and do some skimming at least. 4 hours later, I was like, I'd found myself, I read for 4 hours, dude. And then I had to go into some skimming, and I spent like another hour truly skimming and hitting high points. And I remember messaging you, and I said, the best thing I could say about this book, and it's in the forward, is like, this should be required reading. Anybody that's even 1% interested, that's ever been 1% interested in fitness in any way, this has got to be required reading. It took me back to health class, and you go to health class in middle school, and then high school and college. You take anatomy and physiology and all these things, and I'm like, where they missed the mark in all the required reading is like really teaching it from this. You did a great job. It felt like, oh my God, if I had a 7-year-old, a 12-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a 50-year-old all reading this book, I felt like almost everybody could understand it. Maybe some of the stuff to go over the 7-year-olds had a little bit, but it felt like it was for such a broad brushstroke group of people, dude. And you did an amazing job. educating people, meshing in the power of fitness. Yeah, it's a book about fitness racing, but the bullet points of the power of fitness, taking care of yourself, working in just enough exercise physiology and science. It's sprinkled in there, but it never feels like it's flying over your head. There's probably not, when this book comes out, if I could shout it from the rooftops, I would say to every health teacher and PE coach and mom and dad and the true enthusiasts in fitness, but the really and truly for every strength and conditioning coach taking care of big time programs are exercise physiology departments. I don't care if it could be an exercise physiology class in college and everything in between. It should be required reading, dude. I felt like, and I've never, it pulled me in for 4 straight hours. So, and this is not about tooting your horn. The book's a good book. It's a really good book. And then I found out you've written a lot of books, and I didn't know all that, to be honest. And I didn't go into it thinking I was going to read much of your book the first day, but I dove in, dude, and I enjoyed it, brother.
I didn't expect you to, and yeah, I've wrote quite a lot of books, but they were all manuals, you know, how to squat and how to deadlift, and this was the first true book, which is I wanted it to be every paragraph to make someone want to get off the couch and exercise, and I wanted it to or train, and I wanted it to be, you know, history, philosophy, the right sprinkling of exercise physiology, motivation, philosophy, history of fitness racing, where everything's going, where it's come from, you know, right back to ancient Greece, ancient Rome, Japan, everywhere around the world, and sort of talk about, you know, rituals, rites of passages, and right the way through to what was, you know, fitness racing in the 80s and the 90s and all this sort of stuff. And I wanted to encapsulate sort of not just fitness racing, but fitness in this one book. And one of the criticisms from publishers, because I am getting it sort of professionally published, I've got an agent to work on that, is that where does it sit on the shelf? Is it a fitness book? Is it a philosophy book? Is it a history book? There's a lot of stoicism in there. It talks about everything, but I wanted it to be a book that anyone could pick up and they get so much more than they expected. And they get a full training manual without it being boring, because it's sprinkled with history, philosophy, anecdotes, and you know, stories and stuff like that. I wanted it to be a real sort of narrative nonfiction where people pick it up and can't put it down, hopefully.